AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
Coming right up, another fun Varsity Sports Show.
Hi kids, this is DJ Soulman from the Funk Junkies, and you're listening to the Varsity Sports Show with my man Vince Delicio. And what's your last name?
It's Delicio.
Okay, that's right. That's what I thought. Yeah, right. Okay.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe Phoenix and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale Phoenix.
This program is paid for by the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 nonprofit educational organization, and its partners.
You're listening to the Varsity Sports Show, home of Arizona's youth, high school, college sports, and you, empowering education and enabling dreams, right here on KDUS AM 1060 in Arizona. And now, welcome to the Varsity Sports Show.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona. Vince Delicio out at the Arizona State Fair. This is so exciting because this personifies the state of Arizona. I mean, I can't tell you. I'm on cloud nine. Now, when we spoke to the folks at the State Fair, in management and operations, they said, "Are you sure you want to come out and do the show at 8 a.m.? There's nobody here. We don't open until noon today." I said, "Perfect. There's less people." But at the same time, just being here, the vibe. I mean, I can't tell you how many times as a kid, before I introduce our guests and our co-host today, I can't tell you how many times as a kid that I just waited and waited and waited. Mom, Dad, when is the State Fair? When's the State Fair? I want to go. And we're here, and we're doing our show, and I'm overcome with emotion. We're right in the backdrop of Veterans Memorial Coliseum, which is iconic in its own right. We're on the very north side of the fairgrounds, and if you go to our social media, you're going to see what stage we're on. We're on the Global Credit Union Community stage, where there are many bands. There's a rumor that Van Halen played back here in the day. I don't know. I heard, yeah, and Paz. We're going to meet Paz too. So, and we are here sharing that stage, and just. I mean, this is an experience in and of itself. You have to come to the State Fair. I can't wait for the bacon-wrapped turkey legs and the fried ice cream and all the other goodies and the rides, the sky ride, and everything else. Okay, guys, welcome to the Varsity Sports Show on a Saturday morning. It is October 14th, 2023. I am joined by my guest hosts today, Stephen Buxton and Kobe Van Noort. Stephen, how are you doing, man? You're not as excited as I am, obviously, because I grew up here, and this was like a staple of my childhood. But how does it feel being on the Global Credit Union community stage?
You know, Vince, I mean, I'm excited to be here. I'm going to be honest, I've never been to a state fair. Growing up, I never went to the one back home. So they've got a really cool setup here, and I'm just excited for a good show today.
It's obvious, if you've never been to the state fair, that you were abused as a child. Is that correct?
Or did you have a good childhood? I think I had a pretty good childhood.
Okay, all right, okay.
There's a bit of a drive to
I'm
get
reaching,
over to the state fair.
Okay. And Kobe Van Noort. Kobe, how does it feel?
Feels great. I'm kind of in the same boat, unfortunately. Never really went to the fair much growing up, and so it's kind of new to me. I feel like I've seen these on different social media posts before, but now seeing all of these different fair aspects in person, it's awesome. I'm glad to be here.
Your parents neglected you as a child as
yes.
well, didn't they? Okay, all right. No, I'm kidding. And a big thank you, by the way, a shout out. I want to provide a big thank you to Joshua Pullen, who manages operations here. He is a Cronkite School graduate, but that had nothing to do with us being here. It was just in passing in conversation this morning. But Joshua, thank you. I want to send out that acknowledgement. And I want to welcome our guest, first of all. Our guest, his name is Paz. He is synonymous with sports entertainment, particularly at events like the State Fair. Paz, I can't tell you how excited we are that you're here. I'm sure you see the little kid in this 50-year-old guy sitting here, but thank you and welcome to the Varsity Sports Show.
Thanks, Vince. You're gonna love this. I don't think anyone told you this. So I'm 51.
Okay.
And I went to Horizon High School.
You're kidding.
So
wow.
I travel all over the world. I don't live in the Valley anymore, but I grew up going to the fair, and I was actually here the day Van Halen played.
Wow, listen to that. Man, we might have been in a mosh pit together down on the floor of the fair.
Well, oddly enough, I was just getting ready to ride the zipper that day.
Okay.
And one of the monsoons came in.
Yes.
And just started tossing stuff. And so I was outside the arena.
Wow.
Why? I have no idea, considering Van Halen was playing.
Yeah, well, the zipper was a staple, was a rite of passage into adulthood. If you didn't ride the zipper and vomit while you were on the zipper, you're not a man, you know?
Yeah, you had to terrorize your friend who'd never ridden it and get spinning before it got going.
Wow.
And,
Does the zipper still exist?
Yeah, it does. It's right there. They got a brand shiny new one. I mean, RCS,
gosh.
who runs the Midway, is hands down the best Midway. I do a lot of fairs all over. This is one of the largest state fairs in the U.S., so one of the biggest in the world. And their rides are like no other. They're spotless. I think they only do like 4 or 5 events because they're so big. Yeah. And it's amazing the rides they have here.
Well, I took for granted the fact that there's so much around the actual event outside of the rides. The rides are something to behold. It's fun. I love, again, like I said, I love the sky ride. I love, kind of going over, people as they're walking and stuff and yelling stuff down at them. But some of the other rides are pretty cool. But the events, the entertainment, the shows, just it's vibrant. And talk about your show. What do you do?
So my name's Paz the Sports Guy, and I specialize in sports entertainment. I do sports comedy mixed with circus stunts. And I'm known for doing strange things with sports equipment. That didn't come out right. What I'm known for is
Josh right now is wondering, should we have had these guys out here this morning?
Exactly. He's like,
yeah.
whoa,
I
too
slept
early.
him $100 on the way.
Oh, okay. There you go. Okay.
No, I do circus stunts with sports equipment. I'm one of the only people in the world who juggles baseball bats. I usually light them on fire.
Wow.
I'm not doing that this week.
Yeah.
We have to be sensitive with fire this
Sure.
year in a bunch of communities. I'm the only person in the world who juggles hockey sticks. I juggle
Hockey
full-size
sticks?
Hockey sticks.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, I do that on fire often. I work with the NHL, like the All-Star games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I do fairs, festivals, travel all over the world. And this year, Arizona State Fair is, I think, the 3rd or 4th event to get it. I also do a football show.
I have to ask you, how did you get into this line of work? I mean, this wasn't anything, it wasn't a class at Horizon High. If it was, I should have gone there. But what did you do to get involved with this type of work?
So I have a bit of a windy path to get here.
Okay.
I used to play
Are you a
professional.
felon?
No.
Okay,
No.
all right.
Work release programs, California. Really good, no, I actually I grew up playing tennis.
Okay.
I went on to play NCAA Division I at UCLA.
Wow.
A 4-year letterman there. Went on to dabble in the pros a bit. And then when my career was done, that's why I love your show with all the education and the high school stuff, I went on to law school. And when I was in law school, I realized I missed working with my body.
Yeah.
So I was playing like 6 hours of hockey a day on the side during the hockey boom in LA. So I was playing inline rink and ice hockey.
Yeah.
And at a certain point, I tried circus. I actually tried the flying trapeze. And I fell in love with it. And it was the first time I could be athletic, academic, and artistic all in one thing. Wow. So I took the work ethic that I got from being a student athlete, and I just put it towards, applied it to my art with that kind of still mindset of you're gonna fail sometimes, but you're gonna work hard, and you just dig it out every day. And next thing I know, I became a successful artist.
How can people find you? Obviously, social media, but and outside of coming here, like where are you going to be based here when they say, "Oh, I want to see that Paz guy"?
Well, here I'm on the Avenue stage for this weekend.
Okay.
And then they're going to have me popping up around different parts of the grounds. You just check the schedule every day. And I'm actually here. My other shows in my company are here. My fiance is also an entertainer.
Wow.
She used to represent Canada for rhythmic gymnastics, so she's an ex-student athlete as well.
Wow.
And she does the Farmer's Daughter show.
Okay.
She's the only person in the world who walks on milk bottles in cowboy boots. She actually does it.
Yeah.
It's a dangerous stunt. And our aerial show, which was like trapeze and silks and all that, was here for the first 3 weeks. So, we're all around the grounds, just having fun with people and taking the piss out of a few people, making fun like sports people do.
Yeah. So, guys, when you come out to the fair, look for Paz, P-A-Z. He's going to be at the what stage now? The Avenue stage
this weekend.
This weekend on the Avenue stage. You can find him online.
Paz the Sports Guy.
Paz the Sports Guy. And this guy is a local cult hero. He's a legend. He's a Valley native. And more importantly, he is from the Valley. And he is all about the Arizona State Fair. We might have rubbed shoulders way back in the day, back in the 70s out
I used to come to the Phoenix Inferno games.
Wow.
Which were epic. You get the little ball.
Yeah.
Great. I actually, funny high school story. So I was on the tennis team at Horizon High School, and we were the team that broke Brophy's 22-year dual match win streak.
Oh my gosh! Okay.
Yeah. So I think it was 22 years.
A little bit of history there.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. So.
Well, Paz, thank you so much for coming on. We'll definitely circle back with you. We'd love to have you on the show again to talk to us periodically about what you're up to. Yeah. Guys, Paz the Sports Guy. You can find him at the fair this weekend. He'll be on the Avenue stage. And thanks so much. He does everything, and he's an entertainer. So we're going to turn it over to Aaron Decker in studio. Go ahead, Aaron.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Florida Sports Update. My name is Bennett Solomon, and today we'll be previewing the Florida Gators football team's matchup against the South Carolina Gamecocks. Gators will be on the road in Columbia on Saturday, and they're looking for their first road win of the season. Under center for South Carolina is someone that might ring a bell. Spencer Rattler, who was a high school standout at Pinnacle, is the starting quarterback for the Gamecocks, and he's had a strong season so far. Gators head coach Billy Napier talked about Rattler's growth and the progress he's seen Rattler make across the past few seasons.
Just overall, you think about how he started his career at South Carolina, the things he went through at Oklahoma. The year I was at Arizona State, he was out there. So I saw him, went to his high school, been around him, and he's grown and matured. You can see the level of confidence that he's gotten from experience. He's had a lot of success. There's some experience here. I think he's got pretty good idea, big picture-wise, of what's going on. I mean, I thought the back half of the season last year he was outstanding. And then he's, kept that momentum. And, he's distributing the ball for them. That's ultimately, he's the center of what they do.
Montrell Johnson Jr. had another strong game on the ground for Florida in last week's victory over Vanderbilt. He rushed for 135 yards on the ground with a touchdown, and he knows this week will be a test on the road.
It was very important just to set the mood going into South Carolina week. We know it's going to be a tough game, tough crowd there. We know we got to go into there with another mindset, go to another level every away game. And I think it's going to come down to just making adjustments, being able to be coachable, being able to learn from mistakes.
It will certainly be a test for Napier, as he has recorded a poor 1-7 record away from the Swamp during his time with the Gators, and he'll look to earn a statement win in Columbia. That's your Florida Sports Update. I'm Bennett Solomon.
Okay, guys, welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show. Now, today, we got a bunch of stuff. Thanks, Paz, so much for coming over. We've got some incredible content from our amazing team. We're going to be interviewing Puni Ellis from Buckeye High School, the head football coach out there. We've got Coach Jake Barrow from Corona del Sol. We've got Beachin' with Beal. We've got Ask Lucas with Lucas Ramirez, a fun segment that we do. We got a jam-packed show today. Guys, are you excited? Are you ready? Kobe, you ready?
Super excited.
Super excited. Steven, how about you?
I'm excited. We've got a lot to talk about today. I don't know how we're going to get through all of it.
Is your family listening?
Probably not. They're probably not awake.
Okay. Yeah, well, you need to tell them to listen because they need to know what they missed out on with the State Fair here. All right, guys, we'll be back after the break here on the Varsity Sports Show, live from the Arizona State Fair.
Every Monday night, check out Ray Adams as he hosts the Monday Night Golf and Lifestyle Show from 6 to 7 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060.
I'm Shea Garrett from the Varsity Sports Show, and I am looking forward to immersing myself in high school sports in the Valley. I have a passion for sports and storytelling, and I am so eager for a chance to combine these two this season.
Training Better Athletes was founded by renowned football coach Ron Sowers with the philosophy of training well-rounded young people in mind and body. TBA is the go-to for middle schoolers through the pros. Coach Sowers has worked with all sports but specializes in football offensive and defensive line skills training. Whether it's one-on-one or group training, reach out to Coach Sowers at trainingbetterAthletes.com or call him at 602-435-9064. You can't cheat the grind. Hey, local businesses, join the Varsity Sports Show and promote your business on our weekly radio show and game live streams. We have several options to promote your business affordably and reach our incredible audience. Call, text, or email us anytime if you'd like more information on joining our team. The Varsity Sports Show will work hard to promote your business through our audio and video platforms while also promoting all of our young people. 480-779-9437 or email us at varsitysportshow.com. Hey guys, Vince here to talk about Angel Dentistry. It's where my wife and I have gone for over 10 years, and we trust them with our routine and extensive dental care because they care. Dr. Amber Angel is an Arizona native, born in the town of Miami, and has been practicing in the Valley over 20 years. For general to comprehensive dental services, call 602-788-2008. Located off of Cave Creek Road just north of the 101 in North Phoenix. Angel Dentistry, proud supporters of our young people and proud partners of the Varsity Sports Show.
Check out KDUS AM 1060 on 100.7 KSLX HD2. That's right, HD radio on 100.7 channel number 2.
You are listening to
the Varsity Sports Show.
The Varsity Sports Show. Thursday night flag football game of the week recap. Flag football game of the week recap.
All right, guys, so we started this weekly game coverage in a brand new sport that actually made its debut last year, but really went, full steam ahead with the AIA this season, and it's flag football, and it's been the Thursday night flag football game of the week. We've been covering some amazing matchups week in and week out. We had another one just a couple of nights ago, and it was Mountain Pointe, a crosstown rival, Tempe schools, Mountain Pointe and Corona del Sol. Mountain Pointe heads over to Corona and just throttles them 21-0. Great game, and with some stars that were shining. And joining us on the line, we have Coach Sergio Ramirez. He is the head coach out at Mountain Pointe High School. Coach Ramirez, welcome to the Varsity Sports Show, and congrats on the big win.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much for having us. And, yeah, we're excited to get a W for the Battle of Knox Road.
Pretty exciting for sure, and especially starting a new sport on campus. First thing I got to ask you, before we start talking about the game itself, Coach, what was it like recruiting girls for the team?
So, yeah, recruiting girls for flag football, luckily I do have a lot of background in the sport, but mostly with boys. So I'm kind of familiar with what is needed, but it is a little bit of a challenge to get girls involved in a sport that they haven't been playing their whole life or previously as they were growing up. Most of the time, the conversation is, hey, have you played before? And it's, yeah, well, I've played catch a little bit with my brothers in the street or at the park, and that's kind of the extent of it. So it really takes a lot of education and show and tell and getting them involved and getting them excited about the sport. And most of them, once they try it, they've fallen in love with it. And you can see that with the growth of the sport across the nation, as you've seen, especially here in Arizona.
When you're looking at other schools out there, because right now, after this last game against Corona, you're sitting at 5-5. And when you see, some of the other schools and the programs they've put together, what are some things that you're able to pull away, or, some things that you say, wow, we do this pretty good, a little better than these guys, or wow, this is something we could really improve on because these other teams do it so well? What are some of those things?
Yeah, so I think for starters, it becomes with the strategy, right? The more advanced, I'll say the teams that you see higher up on the rankings or better records have a little bit more of an advanced strategic scheme. For example, you'll see a little more advanced plays if they have a more experienced group, especially on the defensive side. There is a wide range of that from the different teams that we've played, where we'll see teams mix up coverages that do really well, and we might play some other teams that keep it very simple and just run one basic defense the entire time. And that's probably based on, the level of athlete that they have.
When you look through your roster, one name stands out, and that was our player of the game yesterday. What can you say about Nori Sparks?
Nori Sparks is just that. She is a spark plug, okay? So she is a two-way starter for us. She plays offense and defense, and it just makes things a whole lot easier when you have a player as dynamic as her with the ball in her hands. So if we're struggling somewhat in the passing game, like honestly a little bit was last night, we started slow. We can hand that ball off to her, and she is just a tough open field flag pull. She's got, sort of that twitch type of player, quick twitch. She has good hands and she has speed, and she's really understanding the game on how to manipulate flag pulling on the defensive side and how to evade flags, her flag being put on the offensive side, and, continue to work on her fundamentals and her speed. So she's a person that comes in with some experience, and we love having her on the team.
All right, Coach Sergio Ramirez, Mountain Point Pride, big win this week against the Corona del Sol Aztecs. Coach, good luck the rest of the season, sitting at 5-5, and looking forward to circling back and covering you folks the rest of the way.
Absolutely. Thanks again for having us on, and we look forward to the rest of the season.
I'm Jason Goldie from the Varsity Sports Show. About a year and a half ago, I met an amazing woman, Denise Reznick, a Phoenix native who has dedicated her life to supporting people like me who have autism spectrum disorder. Denise Reznick graduated cum laude from ASU in 1982 with a degree in business administration. She began working for developer Del Webb and then went on to start her own marketing and PR firm. In 1993, her son Matt, who was then 2 years old, was diagnosed with autism. Denise was told by Matt's doctors to love and accept him, but planned to institutionalize him. That motivated her to focus on how she could make a difference for Matt and her family, as well as other families impacted by autism. In 1997, she co-founded the Southwest Autism Research and Resource Center, or SARC, with another mom on a mission. SARC provides support and services to children with autism and their families. Then, in 2012, after years of working with a team of like-minded individuals and organizations interested in creating living solutions for the neurodivergent population, Denise opened First Place Phoenix. First Place Phoenix, near downtown, integrates housing, healthcare, education, employment, support systems, and culture in a state-of-the-art luxury apartment complex and R&D facility. There's a garden entrance, a pool, a gym, a gourmet learning kitchen, a media room, classrooms, and other numerous spaces for reading, watching sports, assembling Legos, learning skills, and the like. It's an amazing place. As for Matt Reznick, who is now 32 and living independently, Denise helped him create a business baking and selling delicious biscotti called Smile Biscotti. Matt sells Smile Biscotti online and at local cafes like Duck and Decanter, Churn, and Tea Time Scottsdale. For the Varsity Sports Show, I'm Jason Goldie.
It's happened again. History has repeated itself, and not in a good way, as Los Angeles Dodgers once again are eliminated from the playoffs in the division series. It did not look good from the start. Kershaw gave up 6 runs in the first inning before even recording an out in Game 1, resulting in a blowout. Game 2 was the same thing. Miller could not survive the Diamondbacks' onslaught, and in Game 3, the Diamondbacks made history, becoming the first team to hit 4 home runs in an inning in a playoff game as they pummeled Lance Lynn in the process. And to make things worse, their 2 highest paid players and run producers went 1 for 21 combined in this series. Mookie Betts went 0-11 in this series and is 3 for 26 in the last 3 postseasons combined. Freddie Freeman went 1 for 10 in this series. Completely unacceptable, as he stated. Now, most Dodger fans have been asking for manager Dave Roberts' head, and this year the voices have gotten a lot louder. Now, it's not all his fault, as the players must produce, but it is now 7 playoff losses after an incredible year. Will this be the end of his tenure, or will he continue as Dodgers manager? Will this loss affect the way Ohtani sees the Dodgers? Who knows, but this diehard Dodgers fan is getting harder and harder to take these losses. As for the Diamondbacks, they move on to the NLCS and wait for the winner of the Braves and Phillies. that will be a matchup unlike any other. For Varsity Sports, this is Dorian Zavala.
On Friday, October 6th, the top two teams squared off against each other in a highly anticipated matchup of unbeatens. Number 1 Centennial traveled south to take on number 2 Chandler in what is a Game of the Year candidate for Arizona football. The Coyotes jumped on the Wolves early, building a 17-0 lead in the first quarter, and was up as much as 26 points before halftime. Coyotes quarterback Kynan Manna is a very solid piece for Centennial, completing 12 of 16 passes for 224 yards and 2 touchdowns. But everything started to change. Right before halftime, down 26-0, and with only 6 yards of offense, Chandler's defense recovered a fumble to get the Wolves on the board. The Wolves outscored Centennial 22-3 in the second half, but it wasn't enough. Manna put the game away after completing a pass on 3rd and 7 to senior receiver Kenny Worthy, and Chandler could not respond. 7-0 Centennial becomes the undisputed number 1 ranked team in the AZ Preps 365 Open Division rankings. Chandler drops to number 4 in the Open rankings, but it's a quick turnaround after their bye week because they travel east and take on the defending Open champions and number 3 in the Open rankings, the Basha Bears. From Varsity Sports, this is Connor Manning.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060 KDUS Arizona. Vince DeLisio with Stephen Buxton and Kobe Van Noort. Guys, last night, so we had a lot of teams with byes because it's fall break for a lot of school districts, but we did have a couple of games. We had a game out in Vegas in Henderson, Nevada between Slam Charter and Boulder City. We're going to have Coach Mike Cofer on a little bit later on in the show, and of course, if that name is any bit familiar to anybody, particularly San Francisco 49er fans, he was the kicker throughout all the glory years when Joe Montana and Steve Young were kind of managing the offense for that team. And so now he's a head football coach in Henderson, Nevada. There were 2 other games. There was Buckeye, okay, the Hawks, and Stephen, you were out there. Kobe, you didn't have a game assignment last night, but the other game was Corona del Sol facing Mountain Pointe. So we're going to have some great summaries, great recaps. We're expecting Coach Puni Ellis from Buckeye to be joining us. It was a tough loss last night playing the number 1 team in 4A. I mean, what was that like seeing Yuma Catholic?
Yeah, I mean, Coach Puni Ellis, always a class act. He was willing to talk pre- and post-game, but really, from the first kick for the first couple plays for Yuma Catholic, it was just a punch in the face to Buckeye. I mean, they came out quick, they came out physical, and it was honestly really, really, really impressive for Yuma Catholic, a school that would have open aspirations if they weren't a 3A enrollment school.
Yeah. So that is going to be, it'll be interesting to hear Coach Ellis's take. And of course, we've been doing a few games for them out there. The Buckeye community, amazing. Had a chance to go out to Kauai for the first game of the season, and they won. They were Buckeye was 5-0 at one point in the season, and have had a couple of losses along the way, but they're still really tough, and they're building a solid program. Kobe, you're going to be talking to Coach Jake Barrow from Corona, who played Mountain Pointe last night, so that'll be exciting. You ready for that one?
Yeah, no, very excited. It looked like a similar situation, a little tough loss for him last night, but yeah, very excited to hear his perspective, what his plans are for the future.
All right, guys, stay with us. Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona. Vince, Kobe, and Steven will be right back with Buckeye coach Puni Ellis. Go Varsity.
HD Radio is here for KDUS AM 1060. Check out your favorite shows and games on 100.7 KSLX HD2.
I'm Lorenzo Lopez with the Varsity Sports Show, keeping you all informed with sports here around the Valley.
The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe, with an experience so good it remains indescribable, with something for every seafood lover. Try one of their amazing custom seafood boils, sandwiches, appetizers, and salads. Angry Crab Shack Tempe is located east of I-10 on Warner Road, 480-674-3847. The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. Come ready to eat. Hey guys, Vince here. I'd like to introduce you to my friend Eric Perry. He owns Eco Roofing Solutions. They're local and a big supporter of high school sports all over Arizona. Yes, they're statewide.
A little bit about me and Eco Roofing Solutions and what we're about. I'm a third-generation roofer here in Arizona, and I've been doing this for 25 years.
Call Eric and his team at Eco Roofing Solutions, 480-695-7736, and they'll give you a fast, free, no-nonsense estimate. Tell them Vince sent you.
Hi Varsity sports fans, this is Sykora. Make sure you stay tuned for our halftime where we break down different highlights from sports locally or otherwise. So plenty of entertainment and content coming your way if you stick around with us. What I personally think is cool about our halftime show is we cover different sports, maybe some you might not expect, and a variety of different content, of course, high school football, and maybe some professional stuff such as NFL highlights from the previous week.
Ready to bring KDUS AM 1060 into your home with Alexa?
Hi, I'm Alexa.
Download the KDUS AM 1060 skill and enable. Then say, Alexa, open KDUS AM 1060.
This is where I start my day.
It's time for the Buckeye Hawks recap with Coach Puni Ellis on the Varsity Sports Show.
Welcome back, Varsity Sports Show, here live on AM 1060 KDUS. I'm Stephen Buxton, joined by Vince DeLisio, Kobe Van Noor, and we have head coach of the Buckeye Hawks, Puni Ellis. Coach Ellis, glad to have you here.
Sorry about that.
I'm sorry.
No, just good morning. Sorry about the noise. We're at a community service event out here with the football boys, so if there's a little noise in the background, I apologize.
It's okay. Thank you, of course, for coming in. Obviously, a tough loss last night. What early on against a really, really strong Yuma Catholic team, what early on just went wrong, had you guys down early?
Well, I think the Monday to Thursday practice didn't go too well for us, we just got to take care of some injuries, get healthy, and we're healthy. We're a really good football team. We got a lot of kids banged up, but that's no excuse for the game last night. Yuma Catholic's a really great football team, and I don't think we were really prepared for that game last night. So, we knew what Yuma Catholic was going to bring. Coach Stallworth does a really good job out there, and I emphasize to my team, the games aren't won on Friday nights; it's won on Monday, Thursday. So next week we better show up on Monday through Thursday because we faced a really good Thunderbird team this week.
What was your message to the team right after the game?
Well, the message to them is we just got to get physically tougher. That's all it is, Yuma Catholic, their players play both sides of the ball. They don't come off the field. And, our team, we have players play on one side of the ball, so we just got to get physically tougher, mentally tougher, coming into these next games and finish off the season strong and so we can get in playoffs.
So, obviously, Shamar Parker, your running back, he was showing a few good things last night. He was running tough. What did you see out of him?
Well, sure. Shamar's a really great football player. Last year he was out the whole season. He had a torn ACL last year, so he came back this year healthy. He got a little banged up in the third quarter, but we're really confident with handing the ball off. We just got to take care of the ball. We can't be fumbling the ball or turning over the ball against really great teams. We're not going to win ball games if we turn over the ball as much as we did last night.
Now, Yuma Catholic, they were coming in 7-0. They had just beat your next opponent, Thunderbird. Are you going to approach this upcoming week with any different sense of urgency or different priorities, knowing the possible implications that this upcoming game against Thunderbird might have on your playoffs?
Exactly. You hit it on the point, and I think our passing game will be much better against Thunderbird. We struggled a little bit last night, but we're getting those key guys back in the lineup. I think we'll be set against Thunderbird. Thunderbird's a physical team. They're going to come at you.
they're under the center. They can run the ball. They run that jet sweep really well. So I think when we get to our practice this week, Monday through Thursday, and have a really good practice with guys in the right spot, we'll be prepared for Friday night.
Now, you mentioned that passing game. Your senior receiver, Darius Haskett, he's been a monster for you guys so far. He's your leading receiver. He's got 9 touchdowns on the year. What's led him to be so successful?
Well, Darius is a grinder. He really wants to be on the field. Last night, we put him out there about midway first quarter. He's a little banged up, but he'll be ready for Thunderbird coming in next week. So we'll be able to use him more against Thunderbird. So.
Now, Coach, last question. You've spread the ball around pretty well. I mean, you've got 4 or 5 guys with over 150, close to 200 yards of rushing, receiving, everywhere. Is that the key to this offense, just being able to distribute to everyone?
Yeah, that's pretty much the key of our offense. We got 2 really good quarterbacks. So we got Zachary Bennett, who's more of a pocket passer. He's a really great leader. He's poised in the pocket. And we got Ricardo Warriors, who gives us more of the legs. He has the running abilities to run a little more read option stuff. So, with teams preparing for us, they got to really prepare for 2 quarterbacks that can bring different types of offenses to the game.
Coach Ellis, always great talking to you. Thank you so much for the time, and good luck this next week against Thunderbird.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Nice job, Stephen. Coach Puni Ellis from Buckeye High School last night. Tough loss to the top team in 4A. Yuma Catholic really came in and took it to them. First half wasn't very pretty. Second half was a little bit more, bearable. I think whatever message and coaching adjustments that Coach Ellis and his staff made during halftime may have helped a little bit. Was that the overall feeling that you came away with?
Yeah, I thought it was a good sign in the second half especially. I mean, when you're down 30-plus points, you're really looking to – once it gets past the point of you trying to claw and scrape your way back into the game, you got to try and put together multiple plays, multiple drives of just getting some kind of good feeling that you could really grasp on going into the next week.
Awesome. So, guys, we're continuing to roll here. We are live from the Arizona State Fair on the Global Credit Union Community Stage. On the north side, we're literally steps from the iconic Veterans Memorial Coliseum, site of many historic concerts, a few that I went to way back when, and a lot of rides and exhibits and food vendors here. When are the food vendors going to open, Josh? Is that noon when everything else opens? Oh, okay, so we're not going to eat anything here. Nothing even so much as complimentary, for gosh sakes. No, I'm kidding. But we're having a great time here. And guys, stay with us because we've got an entire show still going along with amazing content from our amazing staff. Aaron, take it away.
A new play-by-play broadcaster is coming to your ears here in the Valley very soon. The legendary Al McCoy's retirement as the voice of the Phoenix Suns has led to a new name hitting the full-time airwaves this upcoming NBA season. That name would be John Bloom. Bloom, a guy who's already shown his talent and creativity while calling Phoenix's road games last season and showed an inclination to describe the game in a beautifully distinct way. You can feel Bloom's passion and love for the game oozing out of every word he delivers and play he describes unfolding on the court. He'll be very ready, too. A graduate of Syracuse, a play-by-play talent factory, and a man who already called that aforementioned 40-plus games a season ago. He's had the time to slowly integrate and grow within the McCoy legacy space that is the radio in Phoenix. Here's a guy whose preparation will take him to the top. A guy who's finally doing what he's always wanted. And he'll do it with a smile across his face for 48 minutes, at least 82 times this basketball season. It'll be easier for listeners to connect with him, too. Bloom probably won't stop people in their tracks like McCoy would if you ran into him at the local record store, a Starbucks, or a grocery store. But that's the point. He's approachable. He's kind. He's got all the tools to replace a legend like McCoy, who's been a staple of the sports scene here in Arizona for as long as many of you hearing this have been alive. But luckily for everyone, Bloom's been preparing and learning to take his role and try to bring it to new heights this upcoming season. And even though Suns basketball will be easier to find on the television over this next season, it'll still be worth your time to hear Bloom on the call for all 82, and hopefully a postseason run. For the Varsity Sports Show on KDUS AM 1060, Ryan Sykora.
I'm Shea Garrett with the Varsity Sports Show. It's official. The Arizona Diamondbacks are just 4 wins away from the World Series. It's been quite some time since the Diamondbacks were contending for a World Championship, 22 years to be exact. Since their 2001 World Series win, the Diamondbacks have yet to make it back. Let this serve as a fun reminder of how much has changed since October 2001. When the D-backs were last in the World Series, gas prices were less than $1, Apple had just released its first version of the iPod, and the first Harry Potter movie was released. The Billboard Top 100 featured singles from artists like Alicia Keys, Jay-Z, and Usher. One of the biggest films to come out that year was DreamWorks' Shrek, which earned more than $267 million at the box office and went to win an Academy Award. Perhaps even crazier, Tom Brady wasn't even a Super Bowl champion at this point, and Michael Jordan came out of a second retirement to join the Washington Wizards. And of course, these Diamondbacks have undergone quite the change since the last World Series team. This time, it's with young superstars like Corbin Carroll and Zach Gallen emerging as fans' favorites and postseason heroes. So, while a lot has changed in Arizona and beyond since then, one thing is for sure. It sure is great having the Diamondbacks on the doorstep of a World Series once again. With the Varsity Sports Show, I'm Shea Garrett.
Good morning, Lorenzo Lopez here on the Varsity Sports Show, and today I think it's a really good idea to spread some positivity as there is a lot of great things happening with Arizona sports here in the Valley. First off, Phoenix Rising has confirmed their spot in the USL playoffs, and they will be closing out the season today at 5 p.m. at Colorado Springs. Despite their loss to New Mexico United at home the previous weekend, there is nothing that can be done as Rising will be in the playoffs, although they will have an away match at the first round, so it'll be a very tough task for them. The USL Championship playoff format is the top 8 teams of each conference in a single elimination tournament, so it'll be very fun to see how it plays out. Phoenix Rising may be on the road this weekend, but there is games still at Phoenix Rising as the U.S. Youth National Olympic team is playing some friendlies here against Japan and Mexico at the Phoenix Rising Stadium. The U.S. Youth National team is coming off a 2-1 win against Mexico this past Wednesday, and their next game is against Japan Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. at the Phoenix Rising Stadium, where I will be one of the officials on the match. And last but certainly not least, the Arizona Diamondbacks completed the sweep against the LA Dodgers this past Wednesday, 4-2 at home. They are off to the National League Championship Series. A very historic moment for the ball club, and I was glad to have witnessed it in person. As you can see, there is a lot of events going on here in the Valley. Big week for soccer, and especially a very huge weekend for baseball. I'm Lorenzo Lopez on the Varsity Sports Show.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060, KDUS, Arizona. Vince DeLisio, Stephen Buxton, and Kobe Van Nort live from the Global Credit, I got to keep looking back at the banner, Global Credit Union Community Stage at the Arizona State Fair. I can't just say on the stage because I'd love to say on the main stage, but we haven't quite reached that status yet. You got to listen to McCabe for that. But anyway, so kidding. So we are out here. We're having a great morning. It's amazing. It's iconic. And we've had an amazing show so far, and we've got a lot left. We're going to be joined by HJCAC Salt River Scorpions head football coach Larry Davis. You talk about another staple in the community. He is a staple in this community. He is a mentor to young people and an inspiration, and he does his darndest to push these young guys on after they play a couple of years for him at the junior college level and provide opportunities to these young people to move on. So we'll have an interview with Coach Davis. He'll be joining us live. They got a big game today against the Maricopa Mustangs down at South Mountain High School at 1 o'clock today that we'll be broadcasting. But we'll be joined by Coach Davis. So thanks again for joining us here on the Varsity Sports Show. Guys, don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Vince, Steven, and Kobe, we'll be right back. Go Varsity.
Need social information about KDUS AM 1060? Try KDUS1060.com, at KDUS AM 1060 on Twitter, and Facebook.com/KDUS AM 1060.
Hi, this is pro sport fisherman Ryan Kirkpatrick of Benton, Kentucky, and you're listening to the home of youth, high school, college, and you, the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060, KDUS, Arizona.
Hey, local businesses, join the Varsity Sports Show and promote your business on our weekly radio show and game live streams. We have several options to promote your business affordably and reach our incredible audience. Call, text, or email us anytime if you'd like more information on joining our team. The Varsity Sports Show will work hard to promote your business through our audio and video platforms while also promoting all of our young people. 480-779-9437 or email us at varsitysportshow.com.
The hottest show covering Arizona high school football, Varsity Live. Do you want to hear from players of the week and our own analysts covering all of varsity sports games? We bring you pre-game previews and post-game reports every single Friday night, wrapped up all in one show called Varsity Live. Tune in at Varsity Sports Show on YouTube, Fridays at 6:30 p.m. MST for pregame and 10 p.m. MST for postgame.
When you think of family restaurants and sports bars, think Bonfire. Bonfire is part of the Tempe landscape, supporting local schools. Join the Bonfire Booster Club Challenge. Mention Corona del Sol, Desert Vista, Marcos de Niza, Mountain Pointe, or Valley Christian, and that school's sports program will earn loyalty points. The winner after football season will earn a fundraiser at Bonfire. Come for the food and fun, support the community. Bonfire, open every day east of I-10 on Warner. Show your game ticket all day Friday and Saturday and get 15% off. 480-306-6801.
Your caddy, Ray Adams, takes you beyond the 18th hole on Saturday mornings with Great American Golf from 6 to 7 a.m. on KDUS AM 1060.
It's the JUCO Report on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona, the Varsity Sports Show. News and notes from the Hohokam Junior College Athletic Conference. Back to the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060, KDUS Arizona, Vince DeLisio, Kobe Van Nort, and Stephen Buxton, live from the Arizona State Fair. We are joined by, as you heard the intro, our JUCO report with Salt River Scorpions of the HJCAC head football coach, Larry Davis. Coach Davis, good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning. Hope you all are doing well. Thank you for having me on.
Coach, we are in literally, this is like a euphoric state. We are in the most perfect place in the state of Arizona at this moment. We're at the Arizona State Fair, and I'm sure you are familiar with the fair, being a longtime Valley resident here. What are some of your, I know I'm putting you on the spot. Do you have a favorite memory of the State Fair?
You know what, to be honest with you, I think the fondest memory is just all the great food, man, and just seeing people coming together from across the valley and interacting with each other and just having a good time. I mean, a lot of times when I go out there, I'm just going out there to take it all in and just appreciate the moment.
Coach, you're a pretty solid dude. You don't look like a guy that misses many meals.
No, you know what? I remember being born a long time ago. You know, I won't disclose my age, but born prematurely, 3 pounds. And when they took me back for a checkup, and the doctor said, "Man, he's gonna be a big boy one day," and I guess he was right on with that.
He was. Okay. All right. So, Coach, let's get right into business here, and let's talk about today's matchup. You have a Herculean effort in facing what is arguably the top team in the league in the Maricopa Mustangs. How was practice this week, and what's your strategy? What's your plan to attack these guys?
Well, you know what, I mean, practice this week, I'll be honest with you, I mean, it's been emphasizing a lot of film time, focusing on fundamentals. We're not going to deviate far from that. And what we call coaching out the details, man, pointing and identifying things that we need to get better in, highlighting those things throughout the practices, no matter what phase of the practice that we're in. And so that's been the emphasis this week. And again, staying true to ourselves and staying true to our identity. In terms of our strategy this week, I mean, I think more than anything is for us, we got to figure out defensively, we got to figure out how to get off the field We've got to create turnovers, get the ball in the offensive guys' hands. Offensively, we got to put drives together. I think we got to do a better job owning the time of possession, and we got to minimize the turnovers. And we got to just play our style of football: play fast, play physical.
Coach Kobe Van Nort here. Junior college football often serves as a stepping stone for players looking to advance to a four-year institution. How do you support your athletes in their academic and athletic pursuits beyond the junior college level?
Well, I'll tell you, it starts now. That's how you support them, right? Is being in their business academically and athletically every single day. And if you would ever interview some of our guys, they would tell you that Coach Larry is in our business every day, academically, athletically. You know that we emphasize what I call the 3 C's: classroom, character, and competition. And so if you want to advance to the next level and you want us to support you with that and be an advocate for you, you've got to win in the 3 C's. So that's one of the biggest things for us in terms of what we do and what that looks like. You know, we build profiles for these guys. We got one heck of a outbound recruiting coordinator named Coach Perry Mitchell. He puts together profiles for these young men. He sends those profiles out to various four-year universities, whether that's D1 down to from D1 to NAIA, and he does a great job following up with coaches, getting on the phone with coaches. And so I can tell you, this group of coaches here at Salt River, we work tirelessly to get these guys opportunities and the visibility they need to get to the next level.
Coach, obviously you've got a tough opponent in the Maricopa Mustangs. What is there a unit this season that has really stood out to you that you could lean on going into this game?
Well, yeah, definitely a tough opponent. I love what the Maricopa Mustangs have done this season. And what I'll tell you, what I'm leaning on us. I'm leaning on our football team. I've been emphasizing this week it's going to take all of us. I mean that. We got to win on all phases of the game, offense, defense, and special teams. So yeah, if I'm leaning on the unit, I'm leaning on the entire unit.
Coach Larry Davis, thank you so much for the time. We're here on the Varsity Sports Show, 1070 AM KDUS.
1060.
1060
That's okay.
AM KDUS. Thank you for joining us, Larry Davis of the Salt River Scorpions.
Coach, thanks again, Coach. We'll see you a little later on.
All right. Thank y'all very much. Have a great day.
All right. I've given you a hard time, Stephen. Yeah, so yes, we are on 1060 AM, but you can also find us on the live stream link on the app in case you guys don't have AM radio, which most of us these days don't. But anyway, so great job, great interview. Coach Davis, again, we can talk to him for hours on every topic aside from football, and that's what's great about this league, the HOCOM Junior College Athletic Conference. Top to bottom, you got Doug Medosky, you got Larry Davis, you got William Strother, you got Joshua Denholter. Great group of coaches, great mentors, great leaders of young men, and it's more than just being about football. It's about academics, and it's about life lessons and moving on, having a short stay here, doing what you need to do, taking care of business, and then moving on to greater heights, higher highs. Guys, we've got an incredible show still going. We're live here at the Arizona State Fair, having an amazing show this morning, and we're going to keep on rolling. We're going to send it over for a report, an inspirational story on Jason Benetti. You don't know who he is, you never heard his name, you will, presented by our very own Zach Mott. Take it away, Aaron.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show. My name is Zach Mott, and this week we'll take a deeper focus into a feel-good story in sports. Jason Benetti was born September 9th, 1983, just outside of Chicago, Illinois. Benetti was born 10 weeks premature and was in the hospital for 3 months following his birth. During his care, Benetti developed a respiratory illness that deprived his blood of oxygen, which is thought to have caused the development of his cerebral palsy. Benetti was highly involved with his high school's radio station, but wanted to play tuba in the marching band. Unable to, due to his cerebral palsy, he opted to be the halftime broadcaster for the marching events instead. He continued pursuing his dream of broadcasting to the prestigious Syracuse University's SI Newhouse School of Public Communications, where he graduated with a bachelor's degree in broadcast journalism. Benetti's dream since he was an elementary school student was to be a broadcaster for the Chicago White Sox. In an industry so hard to reach the climax of, Benetti had his fair share of doubts at first. Of course he had the experience, but he wondered if anyone would hire someone who couldn't look straight into a camera. And then the White Sox came calling. In 2016, Benetti, in a sea of 100 potential broadcasters, was chosen to become the next TV play-by-play voice of the Chicago White Sox, following the legendary Hulk Harrelson. Benetti, whose dream it was to make it to the top, had defied all odds, climbed every rung of the ladder, and rang the bell. For the Varsity Sports Show, I'm Zach Mott.
Hi, I'm Tortorella of Varsity Sports, and today I want to talk about Mike "Tug" Garcia. Now, Garcia was a former equipment manager for the Saguaro Sabercat football program, and last Friday they celebrated Mike "Tug" Garcia night in their game against Chaparral. Now, Garcia passed away suddenly on September 30th, 2013, but for the last 5 years they have been honoring his memory, as he was an important person in the community. While his job title was equipment manager, it went beyond that. He was a role model for the players and made an impact on and off the football field. Now, Mike "Tug" Garcia night entailed of telling stories pregame about what Garcia meant to people, wearing the color green, his favorite color, in honor of him, and handing out the Mike "Tug" Garcia Award for an outstanding member of the Sabercat community. And this year's 5th recipient of the award was former head coach Jason Muntz. Muntz is now the tight end coach at ASU, but he finally returned back to Saguaro, and he said it was so weird but very welcoming to be back in his old stomping grounds. Muntz detailed what Garcia meant for him and also the players as he witnessed firsthand what Garcia meant. And he was honored to receive this award as his kids grew up in this community, and being honored by the Sabercats was really touching to him as he got emotional. I also talked to current head coach Zach Hill, and he detailed how special his night was. While being a new member of the Sabercat community, Hill could feel the love that Garcia was able to bring everyone and that they reciprocate to them that night. It was a lovely tribute to a man that meant so much to Saguaro football. I'm Tortorella of Varsity Sports, signing off.
I'm Parker Gresh with the latest from the Varsity Sports Show. Two of the most prominent personalities in basketball are joining forces to help bring back a brand that is in much need of saving. The NBA's most dominant big man Shaquille O'Neal and a basketball icon Allen Iverson have both rejoined Reebok as their basketball line directors. If you grew up in the 90s, you know firsthand that these two were of many stars that people loved watching play the game of basketball. If it was their style pregame one night or their play on the court, it seemed every kid in America at a point wanted to be like AI or dreamed of being as dominant as Shaq. The reason I think this is so cool is because of what has happened in the basketball shoe line industry in recent years. If you're into sneakers and basketball, you would know that it has become a lot more diverse crowd in where signature shoes are made. In a sport where it has been dominated by mainly two brands in Nike and Adidas, you've seen the emergences of New Balance, Puma, and Converse recently that has only expanded this industry to more popularity around the world. Those three brands have been on the hunt for young stars in the league and giving them their own signature shoes very quickly. And examples of that could be LaMelo Ball from the Charlotte Hornets, Scoot Henderson from the Portland Trail Blazers, and Kawhi Leonard of the LA Clippers. So seeing what they have done, I can only imagine what O'Neal, Iverson, and the team of people they are assembling will do. I can't wait as a sneakerhead to see what type of nostalgia they're going to bring back, and I believe the direction that Shaq and AI can take this brand is only up from where they are. I'm Parker Gresh with the latest from the Varsity Sports Show.
Thank you for listening to the Varsity Sports Show, where our mission is to empower education and enable dreams, creating an unmatched platform to showcase talent both in front of and behind the microphone in radio, television, podcast, and live streaming. The Varsity Sports Show, still your home for youth, high school, college, and you in Arizona and beyond.
Broadcasting from the Superbook Sports Studios, KDUS AM 1060 Tempe, Phoenix, and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale, Phoenix.
Hey folks, J.R. Lambright here, special field correspondent for the Varsity Sports Show. Join me every Saturday from 8 to 10 a.m. Pacific for JR's Texas Tales, where I share stories of Texans who triumphed over adversity and gave back to their local communities. Tune in for a bit of gritty edification on KDUS AM 1060, Arizona.
The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe, with an experience so good it remains indescribable, with something for every seafood lover. Try one of their amazing custom seafood boils, sandwiches, appetizers, and salads. Angry Crab Shack Tempe is located east of I-10 on Warner Road, 480-674-3847. The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. Come ready to eat.
What's going on, guys? My name is Tortorella. I'm a senior at ASU at the Cronkite School. I'm super excited to be part of Varsity Sports, bringing you all the knowledge that I've learned over the years, covering baseball, softball, football, any sport you can think of, and I'm excited to bring that knowledge to you, the listener.
Thank you so much, Tanner.
AM 1060 KDUS Tempe, Phoenix, and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale, Phoenix.
This program is paid for by the Varsity Media Foundation, a 501c3 nonprofit educational organization, and its partners.
You're listening to the Varsity Sports Show, home of Arizona's youth, high school, college sports, and you, empowering education and enabling dreams, right here on KDUS AM 1060 in Arizona. And now, welcome to the Varsity Sports Show.
Hello, Varsity Sports Show listeners. Welcome to a new kind of feature. One that will enlighten, one that will educate, and one that will entertain. Where listeners just like you can interact with the star, Mr. Lucas Ramirez, in the feature Ask Lucas. Need sports tips? Ask Lucas. If you need dating advice and why people won't swipe right? Ask Lucas. Need winning lottery numbers? Ask Lucas. Whatever you might need, just ask Lucas. The views expressed by the host are one for entertainment purposes only and do not reflect the show, its host, or any of the program affiliation. And now, Ask Lucas.
Welcome back to hour number 2 of the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060 KDUS Arizona. Man, I could have used him to pick lottery numbers if he's having, if he's that successful in prognosticating and being a source of all knowledge. None other than Saguaro boys basketball coach, government teacher, life coach, and inspirational human being, Lucas Ramirez. Coach Ramirez, how are you, sir?
Hey, good morning. I hope you're doing well. Good to be here.
Coach, I am excited because this segment was on a bit of a hiatus. We brought it back. It is Ask Lucas because the public demanded it because, you know, you're a guy that kind of knows a little bit about everything, or at least you say you do. So, you know, we got this segment called Ask Lucas, and let me set this up before we you know, turn it over to you. We have listeners, loyal listeners, that will tune in, that will put questions together, and they'll record them, and they'll send them to us, and you have to answer them. You have no idea what the topics are. You don't even know who the questions are coming from, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, you don't know who they're coming from. You don't know what the topics are because you know a little bit about everything, right?
Well, that's what I tell people.
Okay. All right, so we're going to get into it. We've got 5 submissions this week for Ask Lucas. You guys are going to love this. Aaron, take it away.
Coach Lucas, Andy Johnson over at Mountain View High School. Got a few questions for you here. I wanted to go with the top 3 category here for you, so our listeners can learn a little bit more about you. Give me your top 3 TV shows of all time, followed by, if you could have dinner with 3 people, who would those 3 people be?
Okay, so let's start with the first one. Top 3 dinner choices. Go ahead.
Top 3. Say it again.
Excuse me. Top 3 TV shows. Top 3 TV shows. Go ahead.
I'll give you dinner choices too if you want.
No. That's okay. Go ahead.
Shows. Wow. Seinfeld for sure. Number 1.
Okay.
Man, there's a lot of good shows out there. Seinfeld, The Office, Modern Family. There you go. And then the second question, right? Who would I have dinner with?
Yeah, your top 3 choices that you wanted to sit down with. I don't know why I was thinking of food. I'm looking at the vendors here that are not open yet. But yeah, I am. Top 3 people you'd want to have dinner with.
Top 3 people. It would probably be you, Matt Harris, and Mario Malaby.
Wow, all 3 at the same dinner. Hopefully, that would be something. Yeah. Mario Malaby, by the way, is probably your biggest fan. He's the one that recorded our segment intro, and so yeah, he's definitely one that provides a little bit of entertainment. So, all right, so there we have it. Okay, Aaron, roll question number 2.
Lucas, Coach Wash up at Cactus Shadows. How you doing, man? Happy Halloween. 2-part question. 1, best costume you've ever donned, my friend. My boys are going as Mario and Luigi this year. We're pretty excited about that one. Best costume you have ever worn. And 2, man, the candy. What are we rocking? Are we looking for Skittles? Are we looking for something with some chocolate in it? What's the go-to? Take care. Good luck this year.
Okay. So, Coach Zach Washut at Cactus Shadows High School, basketball coach, good friend of the program. All right, so 2-part question. Best costume and favorite candy?
It's a great question, and good luck to you this year, Coach. Best costume. I went as a firefighter like multiple times in my childhood, and probably will again at some point in my life because it just served me so well. What a great costume.
Do you have one of those shirts that's like a T-shirt that's 3 sizes too small that says like Scottsdale Fire or something on it that you wear around town just so that people can hold doors open for you? Okay, gotcha. Okay. Favorite candy?
Candy, you got to go Reese's, Hershey bar.
Wow.
And then something chocolate for sure.
Chocolate. Okay, there we go. All right. Aaron, take it away. Next question.
Coach Lucas Ramirez, we are wondering if this year, if the rumors are true, as you plan to wear a lot of suspenders for games, maybe just home games, success what the crowd demands, black and yellow. All right, sign your biggest fan.
So your biggest fan, Mario Malaby, wanted to know about the suspenders. Are you rocking the suspenders with flair? So are you?
I don't think so. I think one of the greatest things post-COVID that changed in the basketball coaching world is everybody stopped wearing shirts and ties and jackets for the most part.
Yeah.
So, we're able to go with some polos and some golf pants, and I think it's a pretty comfortable look.
Okay, there you have it. All right, Aaron, next question.
Hey, what's going on? Lucas, it's Coach Mike over at North Canyon. Hey, I got a big-time question for you right now.
Yeah.
Do you know of anyone that was underage that may have tried to sneak in the carnival court in Las Vegas during a basketball tournament? Interested to know your answer.
Okay, so Coach Michael Gwynn over at North Canyon High School basketball coach, your mentor when you started off in this business, and he wanted to jump in because he feels like you're a smart guy and he had an important question. Sounds like there's a little backstory behind that. Sneaking in as a youngster at a tournament in Vegas. What was that all about?
I don't know if the statute of limitations has run out on that.
Yeah.
I think I've heard of a few instances where that has taken place in Las Vegas, but yeah, no, like you said, Vince, probably a person, Coach O'Gwyn, who, I mean, kind of speechless, right? When you talk about someone who's had an impact in your life. He coached me and then, gave me the opportunity to get started in coaching. So, I mean, forever indebted to him, and a lot of good memories and stories for another day.
Yeah. Was it you that tried to sneak into a tournament?
I can't confirm nor deny.
Okay. All right, let's wrap up. We have one question left. We've saved the best for last. Take it away, Aaron.
Coach Lucas Ramirez, if you had to assemble a dream lineup of an all-star festival of music in downtown Scottsdale for artists that performed from 1981 to 1993, who are you choosing? And you can't choose Jermaine Jackson as your first pick. Thank you.
Well, that was it for me. I would have chosen Jermaine Jackson because I know he's one of your all-time favorites. And as Jermaine said at the end of his song there, don't take it personal. But who would you assemble minus Jermaine Jackson?
Man, Mario knows me so well.
Yeah.
What a great question. Wow. I don't know. I mean, I think for you, Vince, I'd probably throw a little Lionel Richie in there for you.
Yes. And Earth, Wind, and Fire, of course, yeah.
I know you're a big fan. Well, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, a little Dancing on the Ceiling, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So.
I think we'd bring the house down, Vince.
Anybody else? Come on. What do you got, a little Michael Jackson in there? I mean.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
You can go Michael. You can go, Bobby Brown was doing his thing back then in the 80s.
Yeah. Well, that's your prerogative.
Babyface.
Who else? Babyface
exactly.
too, yeah.
You could go a wide variety there, and it'd be a good time.
Awesome. Well, there you have it, folks. We brought back Ask Lucas. We had life's most critical questions answered this morning by the great prognosticator himself, Saguaro head boys basketball coach and life inspirer, if that's a word, and Lucas Ramirez. Coach, I am so excited. We're going to be working with you again this winter and spring. We're going to be covering all of your games, home games, throughout the season. You'll be joining us periodically and weekly during the season, and then, of course, we're going to be circling back with this segment, Ask Lucas. So looking forward to it. Coach Lucas Ramirez, thanks again for joining us.
Yeah, Vince, seriously, thank you for all you do and all you've done for our program. And, it's that time of the year. We get to start talking a lot of basketball here and having some fun. So definitely looking forward to having you guys follow us along the way.
Awesome. There you go, guys. Aaron, take it away.
What's up? This is Wolter-Sanchez with the Varsity Sports Show. This week's show takes us to the MLB, where the story of a perseverant pitcher reminds us of the power of hope. Cancer is something that has unfortunately affected all of us in some way. You might not have had it personally, but we all know of someone who has had to battle with cancer, and professional athletes are no exception. Over the history of the league, there have been many players who have had battles with illnesses in some form, whether that be cancer or something else. Most recently, a fan favorite all-star closer, Liam Hendriks of the Chicago White Sox, was added to that list when he was diagnosed with stage 4 Hodgkin's lymphoma at the end of the 2022 season. Hodgkin's lymphoma is one of the most dangerous cancers that resides in several areas in the body. Additionally, any cancer at stage 4 is the most dangerous, with a low survival rate. After he was diagnosed, Hendriks proceeded to get cancer treatment here in Phoenix, Arizona. His goal was to beat cancer soon enough to be able to join his team in 2023, and Hendriks was able to beat the odds and do just that. When asked about what kept him fighting, he said, hope. Hope kept him fighting, and hope helped him win. Against all odds, Hendriks was able to return to the mound on May 29, 2023. He was welcomed with the biggest arms, and his return was watched by thousands across the league. This is a story that goes beyond baseball and more into the community of sports. Sports has the power to bring people together and lift people up. His fight and journey won him the 2023 Jimmy V. ESPY Award for Perseverance. His story goes to show that hope is the key to the greatest comebacks both on and off the field. This is Wolter-Sanchez, signing off.
Good morning, this is Bobby Murphy with the Varsity Sports Show, here to give you a quick recap on the Arizona Cardinals. who are just past the quarter mark in the 2023 season. The Cardinals are currently sitting at 1-4, heading into a road matchup against the division rival Los Angeles Rams. The Cardinals lost their first 2 games of the season by a combined 7 points, and then upset the Dallas Cowboys at State Farm Stadium in Week 3. But the last 2 weeks have not been kind to them, losing their last 2 games by a combined 33 points and allowing a total of 69 points. At this point, Kyler Murray remains on the physically unable to perform list. With Murray out, Joshua Dobbs has been under center for the Cardinals and has played solid for a team that is struggling, just throwing his first interception of the season last week. Unfortunately for the offense, James Conner was just placed on the short-term injured reserve and will miss at least 4 weeks. If Keontae Ingram misses this week with a neck injury, Amari DeMarcado, an undrafted rookie from TCU, will likely get the reps at running back. The Cardinals will head into Sunday's matchup in Los Angeles around a touchdown underdog versus the Rams before another divisional road matchup next week in Seattle. This has been Bobby Murphy here with the Varsity Sports Show.
Hey everyone, this is Aaron Nemiroff reporting with the Varsity Sports Show. Nathaniel Hackett got his heavily anticipated revenge against the Broncos this past Sunday. Hackett was the head coach of the Broncos last season, and things didn't quite go how he had hoped. Last season was Hackett's first year as a head coach, and the Broncos finished 5-12. Expectations were high going into last season as Denver had traded for star quarterback Russell Wilson right before the season started. A variety of things went wrong for Denver, and it was ultimately an extremely disappointing season. Blame was being thrown around everywhere, from QB play to the defense not stepping up. However, it was definitely Hackett who received most of the criticism. Hackett was let go as head coach following their Week 16 loss to the Rams last season. It was clear that Hackett wouldn't be given another chance as a head coach anytime soon. However, Hackett was given another desirable opportunity just a few weeks later. The Jets offered him an offensive coordinator job. Before his time with the Broncos, Hackett served as the offensive coordinator for the Green Bay Packers from 2019 to 2021. During that time, Green Bay strived as an offense, and Hackett was given much credit. Future Hall of Fame quarterback Aaron Rodgers really enjoyed having him as a coach, and the two were extremely successful together. 3 months after hiring Hackett, the Jets traded for Rodgers, reuniting the duo once again. Prior to the season, new head coach of the Broncos, Sean Payton, openly criticized Hackett in a press conference, stating he had one of the worst head coaching jobs in NFL history. Payton immediately faced backlash by people who claimed his comment was unreasonably disrespectful. This Sunday, the Jets faced the Broncos in Denver in what was viewed as a revenge opportunity for Hackett. The Jets won 31-21, and players congratulated Hackett in the locker room following the game. Head coach Robert Saleh went on to give Hackett the game ball. For the Varsity Sports Show, I'm Aaron Nemiroff.
Tune in weekdays to the Sports Zone with Bob Kemp from 9 to 10 a.m. on KDUS AM 1060, KDUS1060.com, and with the KDUS 1060 app.
This is Conrad Hamilton, head football coach at Desert Mountain High School. You are listening to the Varsity Sports Show.
Coaches, the Varsity Sports Show wants to be part of your team in 2023. We have a proven track record of providing the most coverage of your teams with Thursday and Friday night football. We will spotlight your players with multi-camera game broadcasts, pre- and post-game interviews, and segments on our Saturday morning radio show. With over 100 games broadcast in 2022, we will be exceptional for your team. Call, text, or email 480-220-4629 or info@varsitysportshow.com. Hey guys, Vince here to talk about Angel Dentistry. It's where my wife and I have gone for over 10 years, and we trust them with our routine and extensive dental care because they care. Dr. Amber Angel is an Arizona native, born in the town of Miami, and has been practicing in the Valley over 20 years. For general to comprehensive dental services, call 602-788-2008. Located off of Cave Creek Road just north of the 101 in North Phoenix. Angel Dentistry, proud supporters of our young people and proud partners of the Varsity Sports Show.
Have you downloaded the KDUS AM 1060 skill for Alexa yet?
Food. Alexa is frustrated. No matter how many times do you ask, the answer is mail, chicken.
Once you're ready, say Alexa, open KDUS AM 1060 to listen to your favorite shows.
Okay, welcome to the GCU Club Report. Vince here, joined by GCU Club women's soccer coach Hannah Bolton. And of course, we are covering GCU Club sports this year. It's our second year returning in being the media provider for the club sports program. Had a lot of fun with it, and we featured Coach Bolton in the recent past. Last month, she was on our show, and we're bringing her back because we've got a big matchup this morning, this afternoon, out at Coulter Field on campus against an in-state opponent. So first of all, let's welcome Coach Bolton. And Coach, welcome to the Varsity Sports Show, and thanks for taking time out of your day to come on.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
We are just thrilled at the possibility, first of all, with the success that the program is having. I mean, you guys are on a bit of a run. You're 8-0 overall. You're 4-0 in your conference, and you're just coming off of a sweep in a tournament called the Aztec Cup in San Diego. I'm looking at the scores of some of these matches. You sailed through the first couple rounds and then came decided on penalty kicks in the semi and the final. Talk about the opponents in each of those. First of all, your first two rounds, Northern Arizona and then Cal State Fullerton. What type of challenges did they present early?
Yeah, so we had played Northern Arizona the weekend prior in a tough match, a very windy, tough match up at NAU for a 1-0 win. So we knew they were going to be tough, and we knew we had to come out and be prepared. So I think just preparation for that game was huge for us, and just able to capitalize, and things just clicked at the right moment for us this weekend. So we were super happy about that.
I know that Cal State Fullerton is not quite a hop, skip, and a jump from San Diego, but were you dealing with any type of a home field disadvantage in San Diego when you faced these folks? Did they travel well? Did they have a lot of weapons on their team?
Yeah, I think biggest thing for us is we had played at 4:00 that game, and then we had a 9:15 p.m. game. So the late game is tough. 9:00 is past my bedtime, certainly, and some of our players as well. But definitely just getting deep into our bench and managing our legs. We knew what we had coming the next day if we managed that game correctly. And so I think the goal was just to, we needed the win, but we didn't really care too much what the result, what the score was there. We just wanted to come out with a win, with everyone healthy and prepared for the next day.
And speaking of the next day, you had the semis and then the championship game, and Utah Valley, you won that on penalty kicks, and then of course San Diego State in that championship round. Take us through each of those two opponents. I guess starting with Utah Valley, how did they look, and then of course wrapping up in that championship game with San Diego State?
Yeah, Utah Valley is a great team. We played them in the spring. Last spring they came here to play us for a match, so we were a little bit familiar with them. At the NCAA level, they're obviously a big WAC rivalry, so we kind of carried some of that rivalry spirit into that game, and it was definitely a battle. Like I said, they're a really, really good team, so we went through some adversity that game, and we're just happy that we were able to come out on top.
And then, of course, facing San Diego State in the championship, obviously a lot of hype around that, and San Diego State being the home team for, the Aztec Cup, and so winning that had to have coming down to penalty kicks. I mean, what was the feeling as you're walking off? It's a shame it wasn't the end of the season, because that'd be a heck of a way to go out. But you still have, you're just basically skimming the surface on your schedule now. So how did that feel? And then having to get refocused and coming home to basically resume your season.
Yeah, definitely an interesting dynamic. I think we all kind of hit practice on Tuesday and kind of looked at each other. It felt like we had accomplished something huge, but still have a long way to go and a lot left to accomplish. So that's definitely a really weird feeling to have. But I think that's just also credit to the girls. They know that we're not finished with the season, and that was just one goal and one hurdle that we wanted to accomplish. San Diego State is a very, very good program. They have a strong history of being a really good program. They're typically the favorite to win that tournament. We had won the tournament 2 years ago when San Diego State actually wasn't participating due to COVID. And so, with that game, I think we had 11 girls on our roster that played in that championship 2 years ago that were returning, and we won it in penalty kicks that year as well. So I think just confidence with having, 11 returning players on that squad, 8 seniors, they knew what to do, and knew that they were going to get the job done. And so I was pretty confident all the way through with them.
Okay, that's in the past. So today you face the University of Arizona Wildcats on your home turf out at Coulter. Give us a little preview of what you're expecting to see from them, and maybe some teachable moments coming out of the tournament that are going to help you better prepared for what lies ahead.
Yeah, they're a really good team. I mean, University of Arizona has been a strong in-state rival for us for many years, and we kind of share wins and losses with them. So it should be a really exciting game. They move the ball really well. They're coached really well. They have really great athletes. So we're looking forward to that matchup and think it will be a really good matchup. Biggest thing I think for us and what we've kind of learned from the tournament is just we've messed around with a few different formations this year and tried some different stuff out. And, so seeing what clicked over the weekend, I think we can carry that into this game as well.
Awesome. Coach Hannah Bolton, GCU Club Women's Soccer Coach. Coach, whatever winning formula you've got, it's working. It's 8-0 right now, 4-0 in conference as you host the University of Arizona at Coulter Field on the campus of Grand Canyon University today at 1 o'clock, and the Varsity Sports Show is thrilled and honored to provide coverage of that. So, folks, if you aren't in the vicinity, by all means tune into the live stream. We should have a lot of fun with it, and looking forward to circling back with you. Coach Bolton, thanks again.
Thank you.
Hello and welcome back to AM 1060 KDUS Arizona Varsity Sports Show. I am Kobe Van Nort, and today we are joined by Slam Charter Coach Mike Cofer. Mike, how you doing today?
Doing great. Thanks for having
Hey,
me.
Coach, Vince here. First of all, big fan. I grew up a 49ers fan. I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but I was a big fan of that era throughout the 80s, and for the staying power and the fact that so many of those guys in the league were on one team for years and years and years. I knew the names of all of you guys, even your backups back then. Now I don't even know half these guys because they bounce around.
Yeah, that was a special group, back in the day where guys, stuck with the program for a while, and you could put some runs together and do a lot of good things. And yeah, you're right. Now the league guys move around so much. It's become more of a fans cater to I'm a fan of this player rather than I'm a fan of this team.
Yeah. Well, you talk about a run. Coach, your team, you guys are 7-1, big win last night over Boulder City. Give us kind of a breakdown. I mean, it was victory, 39-20 victory, but some teachable moments coming out of the game, some things you thought you did really well.
Yeah, definitely. I thought we responded, during the game when things didn't go our way. I mean, we get a pick six not a pick six, but we get a pick, on the very first play of the game, and we take it down to the 5 or 6 yard line. We can't, put that one in. I mean, we got to finish that off and get off to an explosive start. But I think the kids, the adjustments we talked about at halftime in the run game, I think that really paid dividends in the second half. And then, we've got a mix of young guys and veteran guys that kind of come together, and the defense, stacked up when they needed them to, and that was huge for us in the second half. I think we had a couple of fourth down stops and really put them behind the 8-ball field position wise, and were able to capitalize on those change of field positions.
Well, Coach, you have one more game in the regular season next week against Matter Academy East, Las Vegas, and then it's postseason play. You guys pretty pumped heading into the postseason here, obviously going to get a pretty good seeding and the expectation to maybe make a run.
Yeah, I mean, we want to finish this last one off next week, and hopefully that'll put us in a great position going into the playoffs. We know we're going to be seeing somebody that we've already seen. And, that's always tough. In NFL guys in division, you're playing those teams twice. And then when you have to see them, in the postseason, who knows, you're very familiar with each other. And it's kind of hard to slip anything by,
teams that you've already played. So you've got to step up and just, line up and best man wins. So we know we're going to be seeing a tough opponent no matter who it is when we get into playoffs. And, hopefully we can get refreshed here a little bit. Maybe we can get the bye and get everybody back healthy 100% and get guys in the right positions and go after it.
Awesome. Coach Mike Cofer from Slam Charter out of Henderson, Nevada. Coach, in our Las Vegas High School football game of the week, Ray Fletcher was the broadcaster in last night's game. Big win over Boulder City. Coach Cofer, good luck the rest of the way and heading into the postseason. We look forward to circling back with you.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for coming and taking part of what we're trying to do around here. And thank you for having me on this morning.
Awesome. All right, you guys, when we come back from the break, we're going to be joined. Kobe is going to be bringing us Corona del Sol coach Jake Barrow here on the Varsity Sports Show. Kobe, you ready for this?
Yes, indeed. Ready to go.
All right. Don't go anywhere, guys. Here on the Varsity Sports Show, we'll be right back.
We'll do what's best for the team, and we'll do what's best for you.
The Rich Eisen Show, coming to you weekdays from 3 to 5 p.m. here on KDUS AM 1060 and KDUS1060.com.
Hi, this is Mike from Beachin' with Beal, and you're listening to the Varsity Sports Show.
The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. With an experience so good it remains indescribable, with something for every seafood lover. Try one of their amazing custom seafood boils, sandwiches, appetizers, and salads. Angry Crab Shack Tempe is located east of I-10 on Warner Road, 480-674-3847. The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. Come ready to eat. Hey guys, Vince here. I'd like to introduce you to my friend Eric Perry. He owns Eco Roofing Solutions. They're local and a big supporter of high school sports all over Arizona. Yes, they're statewide.
A little bit about me and Eco Roofing Solutions and what we're about. I'm a third-generation roofer here in Arizona, and I've been doing this for 25 years.
Call Eric and his team at Eco Roofing Solutions, 480-695-7736, and they'll give you a fast, free, no-nonsense estimate. Tell them Vince sent you.
This is Saguaro SaberCat football coach Zach Hill, and you're listening to the home of SaberCat football, the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS, Arizona.
James Out West brings NFL, NBA, MLB, and local sports talk to you Monday night starting at 7 on KDUS AM 1060 and the KDUS 1060 app.
This is Coach Perrone from My Recruits, and you're listening to the Varsity Sports Show segment of the Aztec Report with head coach Jake Barrow.
And welcome back to AM 1060 KDUS Arizona Varsity Sports Show. I am Kobe Van Nort, joined right now by Corona del Sol coach Jake Barrow. Coach, how are you doing today?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on.
Not a problem at all. Coach, my first question for you is, despite the 31-13 score last night, were there any specific moments or plays that stood out to you as positive aspects of your team's performance?
Yeah, we were in a tough spot from the get-go last night. We were down a lot of players injured. We were down 3 offensive linemen. Our tight end and our wide receiver, Raiden Bright, was out. So the biggest, I think, positive for me is just the guys that stepped up and took on those roles really did a good job, and they fought hard the whole game. So seeing them really step on and take ownership of what's best for the team. Some guys playing out of position. Cruz Swearingen has had an incredible, season, and he's been playing out of position all year and has done a great job for us. So just really proud of those guys and the effort they put forth.
Yeah. My next question for you is, what key takeaways from the game will help you emphasize with your team to help them grow and improve moving forward?
We've just got to be a little bit more mentally tough. We find ourselves in good positions. This is the second week in a row that we found ourselves in a good position at halftime with a lead, and then we just weren't able to finish, weren't able to close out in the second half. So we just have to not let things get to us, when bad things happen, we have to be able to fight through adversity, and, we just kind of have to continue down that path.
Coach Barrow, Stephen Buxton here with Varsity Sports. You guys 2-5, but you've played, basically a who's who of some of the top teams in the state. Pinnacle, Centennial, Chandler. You've had a really, really tough schedule, one of the toughest in the state. And you guys are banged up. You've faced adversity throughout the season. How do you think the team has faced that? How do you think the team has just attacked all the obstacles ahead of them?
Well, it's been a tough year. We have played a tough schedule. But, we're here trying to build a program at Corona, and I think the emphasis has always been, we want to play top competition so that we can be where we want to be. And so seeing the players kind of take that on each week and rise to the level of the competition and compete has been a positive for sure. There's been a lot of obstacles, of course, with injuries and whatnot, but our kids have battled hard, and that's going to be a really good place to lay the foundation for building the program moving forward.
All right, Coach. Well, that's all the time we have for you today. I really appreciate you taking the time to do this interview, and good luck to you for next week.
Thank you. Take care. Have a good one.
It's I got to say, Coach Barrow's a class act, and I know he just hung up, but he comes on week in and week out. It's not easy. It is not easy because you've got guys that are out. You're playing arguably, like you said, the toughest schedule in the state. I would put this schedule up against any in the country because of the who's who of teams that they've faced, and they continue to battle. And you've got a few seniors on that team, but it's all about perseverance, about life lessons, and about a bigger picture. And it transcends, and I know the fans, the parents don't always like to hear this, but it transcends wins and losses when you're building a foundation because you've got a culture. You can't cut corners, you can't compromise, and a lot of times you make tough decisions for the sake of sacrificing a victory here and there. And they are doing that at Corona, and I guarantee you the dynasty that he is building, he started with a team that had 0 wins at Casa Grande, and his last year they were 14-0. Put that into perspective. How many people are going to drive down to, no offense to the community of Casa Grande, but how many people are going to go there to build a program when you've been that depressed in terms of the win column, to turn it around, to be undefeated your final year, and obviously to be the Arizona Cardinals Coach of the Year? It takes time, and he's doing it. He's doing it the right way with his staff, with his guys out at Corona del Sol. So hats off to him. And he keeps coming back on here week in and week out. I start to cringe like fingernails on a chalkboard whenever we talk about the score of a game, especially if it's kind of lopsided, or about the fact that the team, didn't win, that they lost.
Yeah, and you mentioned that they're building a program, and they've got one of the toughest schedules in the state, in the country, really. I mean, that stretch, Pinnacle, Centennial, Chandler, that's 2-3 of the top teams in the 6A. 2 of those teams are the top of the teams in the open division, too. Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure Chandler and Centennial are both ranked nationally.
Yep.
So they're not running from anything. They're just going head on into who they want to be, who they can be soon.
Okay, so thank you, Coach Jake Barrow, Corona del Sol, for being a class act and for persevering. So now you talk about persevering and being the total opposite of a class act. Aaron, take it away. And now it's time for Beachin' with Beal. Random thoughts from a real Orange County, California surfer guy, Mike Beal. The opinions expressed during this segment in no way represent those of KDUS AM 1060 Arizona, the Varsity Sports Show, its host, or its listeners. Okay, so people here at the fair are looking at us right now wondering, why are we playing David Lee Roth and California Girls, and who is this guy, this Beachin' with Beal? So this is a guy I grew up with, Mike Beal. Quick story. A couple of years ago, we're looking to fill some airtime, called one of my old buddies up from high school and said, look, I need to fill some airtime. Let's come up with some ideas for a segment. If it takes off, great. If it doesn't, no love lost. And unfortunately, it has become like our most popular segment. Other guests will ask me, look, I want to be on when that Beal guy is on. because he provides a Southern California surf report. He's not an actor. He's definitely not a paid actor. But he's just some guy that I grew up with that lives in Southern California that gives us a surf report. And he doesn't have a lot of material, so he'll reach into his bag of memories and he'll make fun of me for stuff that happened in high school. He's the guy I went to high school with. So that being said, Mike Beal. Mike, what do you got today?
Wow. Vince, thank you for the disparaging remarks. Meanwhile, I'm working double overtime in my role as an unpaid volunteer ambassador to the Varsity Sports Show. Unpaid, I might add. Emphasize.
Yeah.
Anyway.
What do you got today, Mike? You got anything going on? I'm at the fair.
Yeah.
You've been to the fair, right?
No. Yeah. Oh yeah, we have a good fair here. I wanted to tell you guys about Monterey Bay, the Central Coast. It's not for the faint of heart. It's one of the craziest stretch of beach I've ever seen in my life. I mean, it's like half Lake Tahoe, half La Jolla, sprinkling of a little bit of Laguna Beach. Some of it's almost into reef break, beach break, north, south, east facing beaches. It's definitely not for the faint of heart, Vince. So
it sounds like it gets does it get a little chilly up there? And were you able to get any surfing in this week since you were in the Central Coast?
It's a little cooler up there. Yes, the water is definitely colder, but I was there not only working for the Varsity Sports Show, but also for my college, and my boss was there, so I was a little hesitant to bring my board with me on the trip.
Yeah.
Although I wish I would have.
Yeah. Okay. So in terms of doing work up there, do you have a shovel? Were you like cleaning up the beach, or what were you doing?
Just doing a little research, and an interesting fact that maybe our listeners aren't aware of. Huntington Beach has the official title of Surf City. However, they had to battle Santa Cruz, which I went and visited about 5 days ago, for the privilege of obtaining the title of Surf City. It was kind of an interesting little fact. After touring Santa Cruz and surfing Huntington Beach extensively, I got to tell you, Santa Cruz might actually be Surf City, the real Surf City.
Wow.
You got a lot of waves up there.
Were there a lot of seals there, too? I hear that they get seals in there. Or walruses.
You are correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't spend all your time arguing with strangers on the internet. You do have a brain up there. Yes, as a matter of fact, they have a ton of seals, and it's a major problem in a lot of their harbors because they can't get the things off the boats.
Yeah. So Mike, you have been obviously are synonymous with surfing, at least with our audience, because we're an Arizona sports show, but we broadcast everywhere, and you're our resident surf expert. So give us one term, one beach surfing term that you can explain to our audience real quickly in our final minute.
Okay. So for example, this morning is a very good surf day, and when I was looking at the waves earlier, I noted that it was oily glass.
Oily glass. Okay.
What do you think that means?
That means it's murky.
Yeah. No, it actually means that the surface is extremely smooth. There's no wind, which is exactly what you want for ideal conditions.
Okay. Wonderful. Well, that's great. So our audience will take that with them when they go swimming. They'll look for oily glass, I guess. So, okay. Anything else you want to share, Mike, in our final 30 seconds here of wasted airtime?
Yeah, actually. I went to the Mission Ranch in Carmel, which, as you may or may not know, Clint Eastwood owns and operates. And I was very disappointed that he and his girlfriend did not meet my wife and I for cocktails on Thursday afternoon. In case he's listening right now, you owe me.
Clint Eastwood, of course. He listens to our show religiously every week. Okay. So that was the Beachin' with Beal Surf Report with our very own resident surfing expert, live from Orange County, California, Mike Beal. Mike, thanks again for joining us, live from the State Fair here in Phoenix, Arizona. Thanks for joining us, and we'll talk to you again in a couple weeks.
Always a pleasure, Vince.
All right, so guys, we have one more segment left. We're going to be back. We've got a report from Lucas Metzner on Arizona Diamondbacks News, but we're also going to be joined by Nancy the Bird Lady here at the we're not talking about the Birdman from Alcatraz. This is Nancy the Bird Lady from the State Fair. So she brought one of her friends with her. I might get a chance to hold him. And we'll be back after the break here on the Varsity Sports Show. Guys, don't go anywhere. Live from the State Fair.
Carving out time in your afternoon for the Doug Gottlieb Show right here on KDUS AM 1060, 100.7 HD2, and KDUS1060.com. Weekdays from 1 to 3 p.m.
Hello, everyone. My name is Bennett Solomon, and I'm a senior journalism student at the University of Florida. I'm thrilled to be joining the Varsity Sports Show, and I'll be providing local sports coverage in Florida. You can find me on Twitter at B_Sale11, and I can't wait to get started.
The hottest show covering Arizona high school football, Varsity Live. Do you want to hear from players of the week and our own analysts covering all of varsity sports games? We bring you pre-game previews and post-game reports every single Friday night, wrapped up all in one show called Varsity Live. Tune in at Varsity Sports Show on YouTube, Fridays at 6:30 p.m. MST for pregame and 10 p.m. MST for postgame.
Hey, this is Ralph Farrell, Carefree's #1 sports enthusiast, and want to tell you about a new radio show that's really hitting the spot. The Varsity Sports Show, which takes care of everything from high school, junior high school, college, community college sports. You got to listen to it. It's on 1060 AM, Arizona. No? Yes?
SB Nation Radio is now Sports Map Radio, keeping sports content fresh and fun. Join us right here on KDUS AM 1060.
The Arizona Diamondbacks are headed to the National League Championship Series for the first time since the 2007 season, and it comes off of a sweep of the NL rival Los Angeles Dodgers by 3-0. I'm Lucas Metzner with the story. The Arizona Diamondbacks are so far undefeated in the 2023 postseason. With a wildcard win over the Milwaukee Brewers and the divisional series win against the Dodgers, the D-backs will meet the Philadelphia Phillies starting Monday night at 5 p.m. Arizona time. This 7-game series will start in Philadelphia, and it's going to be broadcasted on TBS. Awaiting the American League side is a Texas-sized matchup between the Texas Rangers and the Houston Astros. The series starts in Houston tomorrow night, and it's going to be broadcasted on Fox. The Diamondbacks made history in their 3-game matchup against the Dodgers by hitting 4 home runs in a single inning. They went on to win Game 3 by a score of 4-2. And although the League Championship Series matchups may be surprising to some, they should certainly be entertaining. For the Varsity Sports Show, I'm Lucas Metzner.
Welcome back to the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060, KDUS Arizona. Vince DeLisio, Kobe Van Nort, and Stephen Buxton live at the Arizona State Fair on the Global Credit Union Community Stage in our final segment. And we are joined by Nancy the Bird Lady here at, I don't know if that's your name or not, but
I'll take it.
Okay,
I've been called worse.
Is that on your on your W-2s, Nancy the Bird Lady?
Yeah, IRS loves me.
Yeah. So okay.
We're good friends.
Yes, and she brought a couple of her friends who are just chatty here. Talk to us. What's the green one over here?
The green one.
Yeah.
This is Lola.
Lola.
Can you say hello? Good girl.
Oh, that's good. And
Right?
then the white one here. Who's
This beautiful guy is
Yeah.
Koalabi. Can you say hi, Koalabi? Okay, good job.
Oh my gosh! Okay, so tell us a little bit about each of these, and what do they do besides talk a lot? For God's sakes,
Parrots are just amazing.
Yeah.
And actually, they're nature's athletes. Let's go with that.
Wow, okay.
They really are. They're intelligent. They are very physical. They do a lot of physical things, just to survive in the wild. So when you have them as pets, when you have them with you, she's like commentating all the time. I know.
Yeah.
you can sort of work with their physical capabilities to have them show off natural skills. So during our show, they do climbing things and swinging things and problem solving things, and she can sing. I know.
That's good.
Do you want to do some animals? Can you do a rooster?
Oh my gosh!
I know.
Wow.
Super talented. Can you do a chicken? Right?
Wow.
Can you do a kitty cat? Do a kitty cat. A kitty cat. Oh, that's a good girl.
What about music? Can they mimic any songs?
Oh yeah, she'll sing any song. But yeah, you will. You're really good at it. Come on, you're good at it. Yeah, she's just shy. She's a good singer, but she's really more of the singer-songwriter, which is so popular in music today. So you'll sing a song, but she'll just sort of. Here, you want to sing a song? Here, we're going to do a. What's a public domain song? Is Somewhere Over the Rainbow public domain?
Perfect.
Okay, here we go. Okay, we're going to do Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Ready? Okay. Somewhere over the rainbow. Okay, we're not doing that one. Way up high. Yeah, she's huge.
Oh,
she's huge. Maybe some sports guy will date her, and then that sport will blow up.
There you go. Yes, a little Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce action. God, you talk about we couldn't get through a whole show without mentioning that.
I'm sorry.
Thank you, Nancy.
I'm
We're right
sorry.
at the end here. So that's interesting. So,
so how long did it take to teach them to do this?
Here's the thing. Parrots talking is actually one of the trickiest things, because parrots every day, just like you and me, they go to work in the wild and they do physical things to survive. But talking or vocalizing, yes, I'm telling a story, is very much emotional. So the talking that they do, yes, is based on, how they feel and how they want to interact with their friends. So when we first start working with them on talking, first of all, you have to be very careful what you say in front of them, because anything you use a lot of exclamation on is what they're going to pick up. So as you can imagine, there are certain things you avoid.
Yeah. Are they bad? Do they know some curse words?
None of mine do, thank goodness.
Okay.
Thank goodness. But when somebody says,
do they want to learn some?
Oh, yeah, because they're fun, right?
Yeah.
They're loud and they're fun. But when people give us their pet birds that they can no longer keep, and that is the first question I ask is, does it swear? Because if it does, these guys will pick it up. And I can't have that. We're rated G, baby.
Yeah, we're a G. We're a family show.
That's right.
So Koalabi. So what's his special? Does he have a niche thing that goes to the well that?
Yes, cockatoos.
Okay.
If you ever go on and look at all the reels and YouTube videos, cockatoos are the dancers.
Oh.
They're the ones that are always bebopping around. So I was like, "Can you dance?" Yeah, see, I know. I wish the folks at home could have seen that. It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Can you dance?
Oh,
Good
look
boy.
at that. Oh, my gosh.
Can you take a bow? Oh, that's
you
a good
took
boy.
a bow, too. Wow, look at that.
You
It's
guys
French
are so
wings.
fun. You're so cute. People, it's really adorable. You have to come see it in person, or we have videos on.
So, okay, that being said, where are you at here at the fair?
We are in a totally cool area built just for the birds called Paradise Perch.
Okay.
It's got a real island vibe. There's a big palapa. Is that how you say it? One of the bars that has all the palm fronds on it and tropical drinks. Come on, you guys look tropical.
I grew up in Phoenix, for God's sakes. Yeah.
Okay, well then you got to come see it. There's all different kinds of tropical drinks.
Yeah.
And then the birds have an exhibit area where they're from noon to 9 every day, and then every day at 3:30, 5:30, and 7 they come off their perches and perform. And it's cool because I grew up in Southern California, and I grew up going to, back when Disney had e-tickets and I was aging myself right there. But they're like going into the tiki room because they're just sitting there, and then all of a sudden they start doing stuff. Yeah. The difference is, though, my tiki room, the birds poop, and that's different.
Oh, boy. Okay.
Well, it's my job security, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It gives me something to do. I clean up after it.
Okay, so outside of the Arizona State Fair, do you travel around just like Paz in going to different events and different fairs, or?
Yes,
Okay.
I do. In fact, you're.
And how can people find you?
They can find us on, like in person or online?
No, online.
Or like a stalker?
Yeah, stalker too, maybe.
I would love that.
know.
Stalker would be kind of cool.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know. I've never had one of those. Well, we have a Facebook page for the Bird Show. It's called Pollywood. Polly, Pollywood Bird Show. And then on Instagram, we're Nancy Rigler's Bird Show, so good luck finding that spelling.
Yeah.
But look for it, NANCYRIEGLERS Bird Show. It's really easy. And then I just, I'm not a big poster.
Yeah.
I'm more of a doom scroller.
Okay.
Really, just like kind of going.
Sure.
And so I like seeing.
Do you and then do you travel around the country? Do you do other?
I do a little bit of that. When I was, when I was in my 30s, I did tons of it, and I'm like driving my truck and my trailer, and I'm like, woo, chicks rule.
Yeah.
And now, the birds and I spend most of our time at our farm in San Diego. We have a really cool farm called the Oasis Camel Dairy Farm. We milk camels.
Wow.
Camel milk, by the way, is very good for athletes because it's got instant energy and sustained energy properties.
Wow, I did not know that. Okay.
And people can come visit us there, and the Camel Dairy is online. We have a page for the Bird Show on our Camel Dairy website. And viewers can I plug that my husband, Gil, who is the brain person and the handler for the Camel Dairy, he is going to be here at the fair starting next Thursday with 2 of our mama camels and 2 of our baby camels doing presentations here at the Arizona State Fair in the beautiful Agricultural Center.
Awesome.
We're an animal family.
Nancy Rigler.
Yes.
Okay, so Nancy Rigler, the bird lady, and her 2 friends, and give me their names again.
Koalaby, he's the cockatoo. Say hi, Koalaby. And Lola, say hello. There we go.
Okay, all right. And you could find her here at the fair every day from noon to 9 in this special, all I can call it is the special
Paradise
enclosure.
Perch.
Paradise
Perch. Doesn't that just make you want to relax? And
it does.
Have
a Mai Tai. Yeah.
Yeah, and they even have probably non-alcoholic drinks. I don't know, probably not.
Yeah,
Probably
okay.
not. I don't know.
All right. Thanks again for joining us on the Varsity Sports Show. Nancy, we appreciate you. It was a lot of fun. What I want to do is I want to transition to our friend Josh, the public relations intern here that was so critical in coordinating today. Josh, first of all, thank you for allowing us access to the stage, to the facilities, to everything. Talk a little bit really quickly about the daily schedule here and maybe a couple of the highlights that people can expect that make the fair different this year.
No, thank you for coming out. We really appreciate you guys coming here and just seeing everything that the fair has to offer. This just because we're midway through the fair doesn't mean the fun has to end.
Right.
Because we have amazing attractions, live demonstrations, a petting zoo, free grandstand events, exciting exhibits. There's so much here to offer here at the fair. For our Coliseum concerts, they're back now. We had country artist Walker Hayes last night.
Okay.
Tonight we have award-winning artist Becky G.
Nice.
So, tons of fun things to do here at the fair. This week is Youth Week, so at the Ag Center, we have Arizona youths showing off cattle, goats, sheep, all these livestock.
I love the livestock and all the 4-H participants and all the contests. That's one of my favorite parts of it because it really celebrates the community and the contributions. Josh, thank you so much again for allowing us out here at the fair. I'm going to take a moment, and I want to thank our co-hosts today, Kobe Van Nort, Stephen Buxton, our guests, Saguaro basketball coach Lucas Ramirez, Mike Beal from Beachin' with Beal, Buckeye coach Puni Ellis, Corona coach Jake Barrow, Salt River Scorpions coach Larry Davis. Thank you so much to Paz, to Slam charter coach and former San Francisco 49er Mike Cofer, Nancy and her talking birds, and everyone else. Joshua Pullen, public relations intern, Arizona State Fair. Thank you again. Guys, please be sure and check out all of our archived content on Twitter at Varsity Show, as well as Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Thanks to our producer, Aaron Decker and Corey Walsh. We'll see you back here next Saturday at 8 a.m. on the Varsity Sports Show, AM 1060, KDUS, Arizona. Go Varsity. Thank you for listening to the Varsity Sports Show, where our mission is to empower education and enable dreams, creating an unmatched platform to showcase talent both in front of and behind the microphone in radio, television, podcast, and live streaming. The Varsity Sports Show, still your home for youth, high school, college, and you in Arizona and beyond.
Broadcasting from the Superbook Sports Studios, KDUS AM 1060 Tempe, Phoenix, and KSLX HD2 Scottsdale, Phoenix.